Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the stream. This is the final stream for the Command Point Invitational Grand Finals. And I am here with my co-commentators, co-hosts, Sean and Ryan. How's it going, guys?
Doing pretty well. Really excited. It's been a long time coming. It's been nice having the week of prep time before each game, but that definitely made things kind of stretch out. But it's nice, but it's something to distract us while we've been at home this whole 2 months now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
And I should say this could be the first of 2 final games.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, we can only hope, right?
Yeah.
So, we're sitting here and we're looking at Alex Rutnarak and Matt Howell in the grand finals, obviously with Matt coming from the winner's bracket and Alex from the loser's bracket. We've talked about it a lot, but I'm not sure how much more there is to say in the matchup itself. But, I mean, these are 2 really good players, and we kind of have an idea of what to expect as far as, the talent level in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're both really good players, obviously. They've made it through the gauntlet nearing the finish line here. I feel like both of these players they're really good, but they're also really different in a lot of aspects. So Alex is a lot more aggressive than your typical kill team, high level player, I want to say, almost like same sort of aggression level as Will Blood you would see. Whereas Matt Howell, I think he definitely plays a lot more cagey. And then in the 2 different lists that they've brought too, Alex Rutnarak's list is it's your typical Asuryani list, so it's flexible, maneuverable, high speed, as opposed to Matt Howell's Necron list, which is essentially march forward and kill things in close combat. There's a big difference between those 2 lists right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that Matt Howell is only really cagey in comparison to Alex Rutnarak. I'd say in terms of...
I agree with that, yeah.
Details, yeah. And in general terms, he's actually quite aggressive comparatively. Just his play style, he plays like a super melee team usually, and he gets in your face and he does it really well. But, these are 2 hyper-aggressive players here. There's no passive players really left.
Yeah. Sean, I know that our audio is coming through right now, but as of right now, we just have the Command Point banner on the Twitch stream.
Yeah, ready to hop over. Let's start with Alex's list.
Yeah, seems like a good place to start. And there we go.
Nice.
So, we're looking at an Ulthwe Asuryani list that's kind of dominated the Eldar meta for quite a while now in Kill Team here. Sean, do you want to kind of go down it a little bit and just kind of break it down for us?
Yeah, so we got to talk about this a little bit in our last episode when we were going through the top 8, how in Eldar it's kind of pretty tight in terms of how much room you have to be creative in your list. We have the Exarchs are go-tos. You can't leave home without them because the stats are just so good for their cost. This right on top here, this Dire Venture Exarch, that's 11 points, and it has 2 wounds and a 4-up save. It's I'm even looking at them is that even right? Could that be real? But it is. It's so it's 4-up invul, two wounds, Overwatch hits on a 5-up, 2 separate shuriken catapults, so you shoot 2 shots twice. It's just nuts. And then Howling Banshees, we've already seen what they can do. Getting into combat and not having any reactions on the charge declaration. And then Striking Scorpion Exarch, just kind of being a bear in combat as well. The Scorpion's Claw is just insane. Strong stats and hitting reliably. And in addition, the Striking Scorpion Exarch, those actually have a 3-up save, so that's a nice change from the rest of the T3 5-up save list. So by the time you get those 3 Exarchs on the list, and then give them a couple different specialisms, so we see we have a Howling Banshee Exarch with 2 different specialisms on the list. And then the Striking Scorpion Exarch. Now he's opted just to go with one of those Exarchs, just limited in slots. And you got to do that just so you can adapt to the matchup, but also to kind of cover your bases for different combinations. Just for example, looking at this Howling Banshee Exarch with the Zealot specialism, he also has the Wraithblade with his Zealot specialism, so you don't want to get yourself caught there, not being able to take a Howling Banshee Exarch just because you have a Wraithblade. So his list actually, compared to many others I've seen, doesn't run to that problem a lot. He doesn't have too many specialisms. He doesn't have many duplicates on here. On our top 8 episode, we talked a little bit about how he did not go for the heavy Wraithguard specialist, and I think that was just to kind of prevent that problem too of having specialist overload. So he spreads out a little bit more in the heavy weapon platform unit type, having the 3 different heavy weapon options there instead of having more Dire Avengers, instead of having a couple different specialism combinations in the Exarchs. So it'll be interesting to see how he chooses to go against Matt here. But yeah, I mean, otherwise we have the gunners that we're used to seeing, two flamers and 2 fusions. He's got to be going flamers because you don't fusion guns are D6 damage, something like that. There's no way
he's made that mistake already. Yeah.
So, he'll either be bringing flamers or nothing. Flamers wouldn't be a bad choice because depending on his philosophy against Necrons, because a lot of people like to really, really load up on flesh wounds. So that would be, the option there. But we could see him use those points elsewhere. So.
Yeah. So Sean, this time the TTS client did actually go down. So while you set that back up, okay. Ryan, do you want to talk a little bit about the Wraithguard that is sitting right there at the bottom of that 20-man roster?
Yeah, so I fully expect the Wraithguard with the D-Scythe to make an appearance on Alex's roster. The weapon, the D-Scythe, is a Necron killer. Let me just bring up the stat line for it here on Battlescribe. I actually don't have a Asuryani roster on here at the moment, so bear with me a second.
Yeah, I mean, basically, while you look that up, this weapon is like you said, the Necron killer. Mm-hmm. It's like probably the most powerful auto hitting weapon, other than maybe the frag cannon, and that's just because of sheer volume.
Yeah, correct. So the D-Scythe itself, it's got an 8-inch range, assault D3, strength 10. So even those Necron Lichguard, which are probably going to make an appearance in tonight's matchup, are still going to get wounded by this thing on 2s. AP -4 and exactly 1 damage. So I mean, yeah, it is the Necron killer. That 1 damage is fantastic in this instance.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the only thing to be worried about is if he gets charged by a Lich Guard and the D3 only pulls up 1 damage. That's kind of the only risk.
Right.
Is that 2 wound Lich Guard that's almost certainly going to kill anything it gets in contact with.
Yeah, you're right about that. But even if it does get into combat, the Wraithguard chassis, it still has 3 wounds. It's toughness 6. It's got a 3-up save. What's the other thing that it can do? It kind of has like the fly keyword, right? This model
Uh,
can shoot or react even if it fell back or retreated earlier in this battle round. So if
yeah.
it gets charged and survives, it can still fall back and shoot no issue with that auto-hitting D-Scythe.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing is, like, you can get charged and fall back. Say you're getting charged from like 8.1 inches away, right outside of the flame range. You can fall back, and then if he charges you with someone else outside of that 8-inch range, he can fall back again. And then in the shooting phase, he'll shoot later.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy model there. Well worth the staggering 41 points out of the 125 point roster.
Yeah.
So
Pull up
on
oh, sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
yeah, so on the pregame show, Byrnid was talking about, I think it was Byrnid was talking about the Wraithblade. I'm not sure if there's much. I don't know if Alex would be considering bringing the Wraithblade, but let's check it out just for my own curiosity. Let's check it out. Okay.
Worth, to its credit, that Wraithblade is kind of a beast. If you look at the stat line with that Ghost Axe and Force Shield, it's just like taking it is kind of unprecedented, sort of. I think Janus is the only player we've ever seen take it competitively, and that was like a year ago at Nova.
Yeah. Looks pretty interesting. Same stat line as the Wraithguard, except it has a Force Shield, so it gets a 4-up invuln, which is pretty decent. And then the Ghost Axe is a Strength +2, so that would be Strength 7, AP -3, D3 damage. So honestly, that's not that bad against a Necron matchup as well. But I think the D-Scythe is, it's a lot more consistent with the D-Scythe. You know what you're going to be expecting with the D-Scythe a lot more of the time than the Axe. Yeah.
So right now we have the 2 players are kind of starting to get loaded into the game. Before they actually deploy, while they're mustering, we're going to kind of go over what they ended up going with. But I guess in the we can go ahead and talk a little bit about Matt Howell Necron roster. If we can bring that one up.
There you go. Let me make sure we can see the whole thing. There we go.
Yeah, that's kind of
gosh.
It's the drop box.
So those are the first 3 or 4 models on this roster.
I mean, basically what we're looking at is kind of a standard like Novohk roster with he's got a few Lich Guard specialists on there that he can bring. But I think what we can expect from Matt Howell, and I say this with some confidence, is 2 Lich Guards, 1 combat, 1 zealot, or maybe veteran, and then a flayed 1 specialist, whether either veteran or zealot, a flayed 1 leader, and 2 Necron warriors, and then the rest of the list would be flayed ones.
Yeah.
And Sean, Matt, and Alex, I think they're trying to get their rosters in.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, we're looking down at those Necron warriors right now. He does have the option to take a warrior as a leader. Also, They're starting up the call right now. If you guys can just reject it. Anyway, yeah. So, like I was saying, he does have the option to take a warrior as a leader, but I'm not sure if we've seen it yet from him. He's generally kind of opted for the flayed one leader. So I think they're going in right now and picking their secondaries and probably mustering at the moment.
Yeah.
Sean, do you want to make any formal predictions for secondary choices for these two lists?
Oh man. Well, it's tough because we have a lot of durability and numbers on both sides. So we're going to see both of them looking for sixes to save their dudes. And we're probably going to see somewhere around, 9, 10 models on each side? Something like that. So we could very well think, I mean, we could see both players trying to go positional. I'm thinking maybe, so we have lots of flayed ones probably coming in from the Necrons, which means we'll get maybe cut apart, but also the Relic Hunters is always super popular too. We talked a little bit in the last episode about how Relic Hunters brings a lot of flexibility to the game because you don't have to kind of plan when you're going to kill guys. You just kill guys and then score the point when you can. Where something like cut apart or thin the ranks, or kind of rewards you for spreading out your kills instead of just taking them when you can. So could see Relic Hunters from Necrons, knowing that you're going to be up at close and able to claim them when you can anyway. And yeah, I don't know. I'm actually looking forward to learning a lot from both these players. So I'm not going to try to read their minds because just gonna horribly embarrass myself here. But yeah, we have so much potential here for both players to go positional. I think when it comes down to the killing game, clearly Necrons are probably going to have the upper hand because they're a little bit more survivable. So if we're going to go with, I was definitely listening to Birinid when I was mowing the lawn the other day, and pick whether you're going scoring 2 points a turn on killing and 1 point on positional, or the opposite. I think Necrons will have the advantage here when it comes to trying to get those 2 points for killing. So
yeah. Also, they have pulled up lists right now, so we can go ahead and take a look at that.
Very good. Where are we going first here?
Let's take a look at Matt Howell's list first.
Sounds good.
Because that'll be the easiest one to get through, honestly.
Yeah.
So it looks like he has taken a grand total of 6 flayed ones, a flayed one leader, a flayed one veteran, and then just 4 regular flayed ones, 2 Necron warriors, a Lynchguard combat specialist, and a Lynchguard zealot specialist. So this is kind of like the roster he's been running this whole time. This is a roster that most expected him to bring. I think it was Emmanuel who said that he wanted
the hands in default, so that way they can't see each other's hands when they flip them. Right? They flip their hands. The other player can see them. I don't think they've looked at it yet, but
Okay. Hiding is
Sorry
on
to-
default now. No, you're good.
okay, cool. Ryan, you can continue.
Okay,
just didn't want
sorry.
secondaries.
Yeah, I think it was Emmanuel from Strategic Advantage said that Matt Howell might have been putting himself at a might have been. Sorry, I was reading chat. He's put himself at a disadvantage, in Emmanuel's opinion, by bringing these Necron warriors. Just because trying to outshoot Asuryani, it's not going to happen. So, I don't know. We'll see how that pans out for him, but I think this list is still super deadly. I expect those Necron warriors to just kind of sit on objectives and just shoot at targets of opportunity. There's something to be said for having some shooting rather than no shooting, so
Yeah. No,
I
they'll
think
be
we
sitting in
can-
the back. Yeah.
yeah. So I think
is
we can move.
He decided to forego the weapons platform.
Yeah, that's interesting. So let's go ahead and talk about Alex's list now.
So I see a D side. That's not too surprising.
Nope, not at all. Guardian Defender, 2 Guardian Flamers. I think Alex is want to talk to us in the chat.
So I guess it is worth noting that the pretty much the exact list that I predicted for Matt is what he opted to go for. The 2 warriors, 2 Lich Guard, and the flayed ones. I mean, it's pretty much what we've seen from him, I think, almost every game this tournament. So
Cool. Alrighty.
I mean, is there any other thoughts you want to, anything you want to bring up, Sean, before we give him the go to start deployment?
No, eager to see what they do with this. Definitely not surprised with the flamers, with all the flayed ones out there, knowing that flayed ones, they got to roll. They don't have any charge buffs. They just want to get in. So flamers are better. It's kind of the best case scenario for them. And then kind of the flamer to end all flamers with the Wraith Guard there, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's not fair to call it that because it's not D6 shots, but it does auto hit. So.
Yeah. And I got 1 attack, but it's not exactly a slouch. The Wraith Guard Fist, again, big one. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
So I think, are we ready to give them the go to start deployment?
yeah, I'll go tell them that we're ready. Guys, we are ready for you to deploy whenever you are.
So they're rolling off for deployment, and we are underway. So looks like Alex won that deployment. So Matt's going to be starting here, assuming that. So Sean, can you currently see the secondaries?
I'm flipping him over.
If it's default, then everybody should be good. You should be the only one to see it other than them.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check that.
Yeah, just go to options and hand settings.
Can I just click, or do I have to hit flip?
You should be able to just flip them, so that way they stay where they are. Matt is getting started with his deployment, he's going to put 2 warriors down on either side, with Alex throwing down just a regular Guardian Defender. The other end.
Can
In
you
fact, that's just,
can you let them know that I flipped them because we were showing chat. I think he saw them flip face up and was nervous that his opponent would see them.
all right, I've let him know. So, yeah, everything is good. So if you can see them, then if you flip them right now, the other player cannot see them, which is one of the wonders of the GM.
Yeah. Cool.
And on table.
So whose side am I on here? It looks like I'm on Alex's side. I see Relic Hunters, Steadfast, and Death from Afar.
Death from Afar is interesting.
Well, the Flamers,
the D-Scythe.
Yeah. So it's really easy to get Death. Well, you're bringing it to a coin flip, I guess, on the damage roll.
That's right.
But if you're willing to spend a CP to re-roll that injury roll, then it's a 75% chance out of action and most likely getting that Death from Afar point. And you're allowed to score more than 1 Death from Afar in a turn, which, so that's really nice. If we're seeing if turn 2 is full of charges, then we could see a whole lot of Overwatch taking guys out and scoring that Death from Afar.
Yeah, right on the map right now, we've got Alex has put a Flamer down on each side of the map for his deployment, and that Zealot Banshee Exarch coming down too on the top left side.
Thank you for the kind words, Dim Domer. Yeah, we don't have any music or fancy graphics, and that's just because we haven't figured out how to do that sort of thing yet. But yeah, no, we pride ourselves on focusing more on the competitive aspect of our streams more than anything else, and I hope you enjoy that.
I guess moving over to the flip side, what do we have for Matt on secondaries?
So we have Cut Apart, Relic Hunters, and Vicious Assault. So hey, look at that. I was kind of right there. But I mean, that's not surprising, right?
Yeah, no surprises there.
Yeah. I mean, that's all he does. So he has those 2 warriors that can shoot, but other than that, he's just rolling either a ton of dice that reroll a lot, or going in with the Lich Guards and hitting hard.
Yeah. And
go ahead, Ryan.
Nothing. I was about to say, it looks like Alex is about to put down his D-Scythe, or his Wraithguard, I should say. He keeps touching it. He wants to put it down, but I think he might be doing something cheeky with reserves coming up here. He's put down his leader model, his Dire Avenger Exarch, right in the middle of the board there, who we'll probably see contest that middle point, if I know Alex at all. Matt Howell has placed his Lichguard Zealot on top of that the top right objective there. Probably going to mirror that with the Lichguard combat spec when it's his turn to deploy again.
Now,
So,
what's the bonus objective?
If you kill an enemy model that is within 2 inches of an objective closer to your deployment, you get a point for that.
So that's probably going to benefit Alex, I would think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
One interesting thing is it might actually be a little bit difficult for and that Wraithguard's going in reserve.
Yeah. Cheeky.
It might be difficult to keep steadfast on this deployment, especially with the lower body count from Alex.
Mm. Yeah. I couldn't tell you which one is going to be the one he's going to try to hold on to for that. Just because of this deployment.
A veteran move coming in right now from
it's from Matt.
Yeah, Matt's advancing that Blade 1 veteran spec, and he's getting a 10-inch advance right now.
Oh my gosh. They're so fast.
Not typical, but yeah. And we're going into initiative. Matt has with 11. All right, we're starting with a charge from that Flayed 1 veteran spec onto Alex's leader.
Yeah.
So Alex is considering that's only going to be a 4-inch charge right now. And Alex is going to throw
a grenade. Yeah.
That's 5 shots, looking for 6s. And he doesn't get a single one.
Oh, wait, the Overwatch hits on 5s for this model, I think, Shane.
Oh, yes. So he got 2 of them through, but Matt made 2 6-up saves.
Yeesh.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to forget about that Dire Avenger getting the 5-up on Overwatch. The charge does go through.
Yeah, this is...
They're just making sure that the Flayed 1 is outside of an inch on that comm spec.
Yeah.
Pretty good start for Matt already.
Yeah.
Another advance coming out from Flayed 1 on the bottom side of the map. Just getting a 7-inch move right there. And you pretty much always advance these guys because they can't shoot. So
Yeah.
if you're not charging, you're just going to hike them up the board. And there's the next advance, this time a 5, and that's, I believe, the Lich Guard. So that's 10 inches that Lich Guard is going to be able to move. And I think I know what Matt is doing here.
What do you think he's doing?
So he's putting the Lich Guard behind that Flayed 1, and he is kind of daring Alex to charge that Flayed 1. Because if Matt gets the chance to fight, which he will, he can use the up and at him combat tactic to move that Lich Guard, pile in, and get a swing on the Striking Scorpion right there.
Right.
So even though Alex isn't he's probably not going to charge that Lich Guard. Matt's still going to get the chance to fight with it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of laying a trap there. It's actually something Emmanuel did in his game against me in the tournament.
Yeah. And also, that model it's just obscured now. He's using at a basic level, the Flayed 1 is essentially bubble wrapping the Lich Guard from any attacks from the Dire Avenger with the Flamer on the bottom left-hand corner of the objective.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the biggest threat to Matt is if Alex charges that Flayed 1, and then that Wraith drops in behind them and shoots the Lich Guard.
Right. That would be an interesting play for sure.
I mean, honestly, I think Alex his intuition is going to tell him to make that charge on that Flayed One down there, but it might be the best play to just kind of sit back and let the Flamer do its work for round one and try and get that done far on the Flayed One. So far, it's looking like not much of an attempt from Matt to try and screen out the Wraithguard. I think understandably so. There's not really much he's going to be able to do against it. And if Alex opts to outflank that Wraithguard, he's not going to have 2 CP for any decisive strike when the fight phase comes around.
Yeah, so Shane, correct me if I'm wrong. The does the Wraithguard, it benefits from like it's from a faction specific deep strike tactic, right? It's not just solely reliant on outflank in order to be able to deep strike it. Is that right?
If I'm not mistaken, they actually don't have a specific Wraithguard deep strike. What they do have is Warrior Webway, which would let him drop 3 models that are just basically any 3 models somewhere on the board. But I don't imagine he's going to use that just for the Wraithguards because it's a 2 CP.
Yeah. The only difference that I could see is because the players are talking to each other about trying to screen out the Wraithguard, basically just conferring with each other where the Wraithguard would be able to drop in. And the thing with the Warriors of the Webway tactic is that I believe that it would allow the Wraithguard to drop in outside of 5 inches from any enemy model. But with the outflank, it would have to be within an inch of a board edge. So that could be it could mean something.
Yeah.
Because that 8-inch range of the Flamer.
Yeah, he's trying to keep the Lich Guard outside of 8 inches, but the Warrior within like 5 of where that 8-inch range would be.
Yeah.
It's pretty clever from Matt's perspective.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this might just be a case of Alex is just going to have to shoot the targets that he can hit and not the targets that he like really wants to hit this first round. He might just have to live with that, depending all upon how Matt has gone ahead and done his screening here. Because that Flayed One leader that he's got right in the middle, I don't think that can be threatened by the Wraithguard in any way this first round.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
All right, so that Zealot Banshee is charging the Flayed One on the middle objective there. This Flayed One, it's already advanced, so it probably couldn't react anyway. But Howling Banshees, any sort of model they're charging does not get to react at all. So no Overwatch, no fallback, nothing. And
but he does get to reroll failed charges, and he gets a 9.
Nice. Is that just a native ability that the Howling Banshees get?
Yes.
They get a free reroll charge?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. They get a whole bunch.
Nice. Yeah, no, I know that they get a lot baked into them, but they got so much baked into them that I lose track I don't play the faction, so.
Yeah. So he is keeping that Flamer on the point there, just outside of looking like.
Nice.
Just within 8 of the Flayed One there, so he can get that death from afar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, force the 7-inch charge roll next turn.
Yeah. I mean, if he can keep himself away from those Lich Guards, I mean, that's gonna, kind of spell the game.
The interesting bit about this, not that Matt can really do anything about it, but the moving the Flamer back there, so just the Flayed One and not the Flayed One and the Lich Guard are within 8 inches. It can kind of look like he's just trying to hold that point and just kind of be area denial. Just kind of daring him next turn to charge that point, basically, with the Flayed One. But that is not the case in this instance.
Yeah, so he put the Guardian Defender right in front of that Flamer. Really, the Warriors I'm noticing here, or at least the Warrior on the top right, doesn't actually have a shot on anything, except all the way on the side of the board on the bottom left. But Alex has yet to move those models yet.
So Alex has advanced with his comm spec. Still took the comm spec, despite not taking the heavy weapon platform, which I find kind of interesting because I'm not really sure what the purpose of taking the comm spec is anymore.
Well, I mean, it's really a lack of options as far as specialists go. His only other specs, I believe, were the. I think he had the Zealot Wraithblade, but that's obviously not going to come into play.
Now, I have a strange question for you, Shane, regarding specialists. So, I believe in the core rulebook for Kill Team, it says you can bring up to 3 specialists, right? They all have to be a different specialist, so you can't take like 3 snipers, stuff like that. But I believe it is an option to not take any specialists, not including the leader, of course. Do you think that there's some type of untapped meta for that?
So I had considered that, only taking, especially with Tyranids when running Kraken, if you're running like swarms of Gaunts, like they can be like a scout, but you're already just like move like crazy, so you don't really need it. And all that scout ends up being a liability when high profile targets is around.
Right.
So I've definitely played lists that did not run the full suite because it made it impossible for the opponent to max out on that. Now, on some packets, I don't remember if this is one of those. It specifically says if you kill all enemy specialists, you get the full 3. So it does prevent that play. Because that's definitely a cheeky way to deny points before the games even start. But I think this packet does allow that. You only get a point for killing. It doesn't matter if if they only bring 2 non-leader specialists. I still think it's kind of, the specialist benefits are so huge that in most cases I don't think it's really worth it.
Yeah. But in this specific instance, where you're kind of taking a comm specialist and you don't really have that many great like shooting models, or your great shooting models are already auto hitting, it may have been a detriment to even take it. Might as well have just taken a regular Guardian Defender in its place.
Yeah, for sure. Now I'm looking at his list. So comms, and it is a defender. It's not even a Dire Avenger. So now he only has 2 Guardian Defenders on the list, and he took both, right?
2 Guardian Defenders. Yes, he has 1 Guardian Defender, and then he has another one that is the comm spec.
Okay, so that's just Asuryani is just, their roster is so tight that maybe he would have if he had the slots.
Okay,
but that's what it is.
Yeah, just something I was thinking about the other day.
I think it's interesting with the way the map moved. Obviously, the Wraith Guard is in play now. But the Flamer made itself obscured to the Warrior. But what this is doing, he's going to shoot with that Flamer at the flayed one down there. And it's only going to be a 5 to take him out of action.
Yeah, that's right.
And it looks like Matt taking a long-range shot with the readied Warrior that did not land.
Yeah.
And now the other is taking a shot at the Scorpion. And he gets one of them through. And the Scorpion made that 4-up save. So now we're looking at first shooting. I think he's considering those 2 Guardian Defenders first before he gets to the Flamers. That Guardian Defender is going to take 2 long-range obscured shots on the Flayed One leader sitting in the middle. And he gets 1 hit, and he gets a 6, so that's AP -3 for the Shuriken weapon. No save on that leader, but he just gets a flesh wound on it. Pretty big play so far from Alex. The other Guardian Defender shoots at the leader well and misses. Okay, cool.
Okay. Parmenion, I have all 8 of the top lists, and I think I've posted links to them in our like top 8 faction video that came out a few weeks ago on our YouTube channel, and then I may have also linked it in one of our podcast episodes recently, but I'll be posting the top 8 rosters over in our Discord server.
So the Flamer on top shot and whiffed, and the Flamer on the bottom did get 3 wounds through on that Flayed One. So, and he gets a flesh wound on that Flayed One.
Yes, Udzikol, of course, it's a Wraith card.
And
did you not expect him to bring a Wraith card? I'm sorry, Shane, go ahead.
The Striking Scorpion is throwing a grenade down now at the flesh wounded Flayed One.
Okay. You don't think the Flayed One's obscured, Shane? I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, from the Striking Scorpion's shoulder, you can see that whole model.
He only got 1 hit through out of the 5 attacks.
Woof.
So he needs a 5 up on this save, and he does not get it. So it's a 3 to kill this Flayed One right now.
Oh. He rolls a 6. Oh my god.
I think he is going to
re-rolling.
And
it's a 3. All right, so the Flayed One's out.
So that is a dead Flayed One, and that's the first death from afar here. And Alex has a chance to get another death from afar with the Wraith Guard right now, shooting at that unobscured Lich Guard. So this is a really good turn 1 for Alex so far, I would say.
I mean, his leader got charged, but that's kind of the only detrimental thing that's happened to him this turn so far.
So he gets 2 hits through on the Lich Guard. That's huge. And he wounds both of them at -4. So this is a injury roll right now on an unobscured Lich Guard. And it's just
a 3. Yep. And Alex has already re-rolled that injury roll for the Flayed One previously. So that Lich Guard will go down to a single flesh wound.
Not the worst, though, because he when that Lich Guard charges next round, that's going to open it up to another round of D3.
That's right.
And now they're in the fight phase, so that Lich Guard is swinging on the Dire Avenger leader, who makes both saves with the 4-up invuln.
Wow.
And now the Howling Banshee Exarch gets 4 attacks on 3s, gets 2 hits, wounding on 3s. Both wound, and this is AP3, so no save for that Flayed One. And a 4 gets the kill. No, it's actually 2 damage. And he rolls double 1, so it's just a flesh wound on the Flayed One.
A lot of flesh wounds and depths piling up for this Necron team turn 1. I've never...
Yeah.
This is the best opening Alex could have hoped for, honestly. Shane, you're listening. You're listening. You got them mic'd up for you, right? Did you know what they were talking about there regarding rerolls?
They were talking about the whether a failed reroll with a flesh wound counts being like a 3 or a 4. Say like you have a flesh wound and you roll 3.
Okay.
And if the 3 counts as a fail. But for this packet, it does. And that's a dead Dire Avenger, or Howling Banshee, rather. Which is pretty huge for both players.
Yeah.
And Matt
because
left.
Matt's going to be getting cut apart. He's also going to be holding that middle objective. So
oh, that's just a huge bad break for Alex there in the middle.
Yeah. That single model dying has netted Matt Howell essentially 3 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So he got kill more. He got kill, or sorry, he didn't get kill more. He got hold more from that. He got kill 1 from that. He got cut apart from that, and he also is scoring relic hunters from that. So that's actually 4 points that can be attributed to that one model.
5 points actually. Oh, I guess yeah. He just the 1 for hold more.
Right. So right now the score is 3-5 in Matt Howell's favor.
Yeah, and they're going into the second round initiative, and they both rolled a 4. And Alex is going to go first, which is pretty nice for him, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt's going to want a decisive move, and that's what he's going to do. And
they're going to roll off for it here. Very interesting.
That's it. Alex gets a 6.
Oh! Howell rolls an 8. Oh, the Lich Guard is going to charge the Flamer and the Striking Scorpion. So that Striking Scorpion will be able to fire Overwatch if it's within 6 inches.
But he's going to fall back with it behind the Wraith Guard.
That's a smart play.
And the Flamer is also going to fall back. I don't know if he's using Feigned Retreat.
He hasn't said he has.
So Matt rolls a 10. Oh man.
I don't think the Lich Guard's base is small enough to sneak between.
Yeah, that base.
That base is too big to get behind that container there. Like, just look at the shadow.
Yeah, actually, a nice situation here for Matt, because since he has initiative, if there's another charge on the board, Matt's going to get to fight first, and then he can up and at him with that combat spec to swing at the Lich Guard with the Flesh Wound.
Ooh, true. He was talking about doing that as recently as like an hour ago, I think, in the Discord.
Yeah. I mean, I think the move... Sean, I want to ask you, what do you think the move is for the Wraith Guard going down for Alex right now?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of pinned down there right now. He can't get around too well. That's what we meant, right? What the play is, the best play?
Yeah, like what do you think he should do with it?
If he makes his way into that tower, he might be able to poke down 8 inches to that center objective and also to that flayed one that's off mind cover to the right there. That might be 8 inches. It's hard to tell, and I don't want to really measure and show that.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, he can't fit you don't you don't want to just put him against that Necron warrior on the point, and he can't squeeze past the Lich Guard without going over, so that's gonna suck up 3 into the movement.
Yeah, I mean, what he can do is just kind of sit and get by that bounty token. Because if he's there, I mean, that Necron warrior is kind of in a tough spot, whether he leaves to hide and be safe or stand on the point and potentially get blasted. And Alex is going to fall back with the Dire Avenger Exarch up there, which is probably a smart play, although it kind of puts him in the lens of that Lich Guard Zealot over there. Alex rolls a 1 on the advance for the comm specialist up there. So he's, I mean, this is clearly going to be his steadfast.
Steadfast point. Yeah, that's a whole firing line. Dire Avengers he's got.
The thing is, too, he doesn't even need to declare it now. So depending on what happens on this bottom, player steadfast.
That's right. Even if he doesn't score it, he doesn't have to declare it until the game's over. Just to keep the opponent guessing, I guess, if nothing else.
Alex, I think, is opting to do what I was talking about, where he's going to kind of cover that bottom right objective and stand in the spot where he can get that bounty token.
Yeah. Just plug walking up there, threatening that bottom objective.
Oh, and he's going to be just out of 8 of the leader. Not that it really matters, because Matt's going to probably move that body elsewhere. He's trying to spot it, but I don't think it's going to happen. So they're determining that Wraithguard can actually squeeze through that little section there because it's a 40 mil base, so it's 1.4.
Yeah. And he is within 8 of that flayed 1 leader now.
Yeah. Granted, that leader is going to get out of town second.
He's just going to go somewhere else, yeah.
I always feel so icky when I do like conversion math to see if the, measuring bases and converting to see if I can squeeze instead of just physically moving, but that's kind of like where we are in this game. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's like I love it, but I feel like maybe I shouldn't. But yeah. And when the unique differences with
I
with
just
this
take
scale
everything
of
out of the equation and I just use models that can fly.
Perfect.
I think Matt is seeing how much it's going to be for him to charge the Wraithguard with that flayed 1 in the middle objective right now. So it's looking like a 9.
Ooh. This would be a huge play. Just absolutely nullifying everything that Wraithguard brings if he's able to get him right here. Now, the Wraithguard it's not a slouch in combat against these flayed ones, because those Wraith Fists or whatever, they're Strength 5, AP 1, D3 damage. But
that's not why
he doesn't want to be in that situation. Yeah, he brought him to carry that D-Scythe.
Yeah, I mean, not getting to shoot with that D-Scythe could be a pretty unfortunate situation. Although it is worth noting that the Wraithguard like we kind of mentioned earlier, the Wraithguard Fists is kind of a decent weapon against Flayed Ones, even though he's only got 1 attack.
The 41-point model being held up by a 10-point model, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What it would give him the opportunity to do is maybe pile in or consolidate onto that objective down there. It looks like he's...
Yeah. So it looks like Matt Howell is trying to set up the Flayed One that he's moving around right now to try to give his leader model cover.
Yeah.
To give the leader obscurity in order to charge the D-Scythe.
And the D-Scythe is overwatching. 3 shots.
Yeah, that's 3 shots auto-hitting. They all wound at AP4.
4 or 5, and he gets the 5.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Matt does
Matt
not.
Howell's just realizing that that was the leader model that just ate it.
That's another
Yeah.
decimal
Oh,
forward.
he's really he's beating himself up over it right now.
And that's death from afar again for Alex.
Man.
Yeah, kids, if you're watching from home, make sure it's not your leader making that charge. That was pretty brutal.
Yeah. I mean, when you take 14 Flayed Ones and they all look exactly the same, you're going to make those sorts of mistakes. I like what Alex has done here with his specialist. He's put them all on like colored bases, it looks like, to differentiate them from all of his other non-specialist models, if you look closely.
Oh, so Matt just whiffed a charge with the Flayed One up top and then re-rolled it, and I still don't think he got the charge with the 7, but he is going to hop onto that point up there,
Yeah.
which Alex is probably not going to be happy about.
Well, Alex has got a Flamer and 2 Dire Avengers there and the Exarch, so maybe he'd be able to blow them off. We'll see how it works.
So he overwatches with the Guardian Defender up there, actually gets a hit through, but he misses on the wound.
Mm.
It's another hit through with the next guy. Doesn't win, though. Unfortunately for Matt, he actually spent the reroll on the Flayed One, but he gets the charge with the Lich Guard now, which is hugely unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So Matt's going to score a Vicious Assault with those 2 Lich Guard charges.
Holy crap. Do you think that was kind of like Alex putting all those Dire Avengers on that objective there like that? Do you think that was kind of showing his hand in a sense to Matt Howell?
Well, I think...
Because going into this, he had a reputation of taking Steadfast.
Yeah, I mean, I think Alex taking Steadfast, every game he's ever played of LVO is showing his hand more than that.
I agree with that, yeah.
So pretty rough situation so far here for Alex. He actually doesn't have a charge on the board, so he's not going to be able to fight first and then up and at him.
He's also out of CP, so...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. So it doesn't even matter.
And none of his combat, all his combat models are either dead or they're out of combat.
I mean, honestly, Alex could easily lose Steadfast here. That Lich Guard has 3 attacks, and he's in combat with 3 of these Guardian Defenders and Storm Guardian
They're
Defenders.
squishy.
1 attack.
I mean, they do get... Yeah. He doesn't even need to kill all 3. He just needs to knock off 2, and then he's contesting it. If he's contesting it at the end of this round, then Alex is going to lose Steadfast.
Yeah. Alex doesn't get a single wound through or hit through with the Overwatch on that Dire Avenger in the middle. And Matt's going to make that charge.
That was into his leader model.
Yeah, this is a really rough spot right now.
So he's not putting the body on the point. I don't know how far of a charge that was, but if he could have put it on the point, he should have.
Well, he'll be able to pile in. It won't really matter.
Oh, true.
Matt's shooting now at the Scorpion down there. Only gets one wound through. Oh, Alex has missed all of his saves here with the Scorpion now. But it's just a flesh wound, so the Scorpion's going to live.
It took 2 wounds?
It did, yeah. Matt ended up second wound roll.
I see.
So Alex's only shooting option is the D-Scythe. And he gets the wound through on that warrior.
Barely.
But it's just a flesh wound on the warrior.
Yeah.
Pretty bad spot right now for Alex. Warrior on the top right whiffs his shot. And I think we're going into the fight phase now.
Yeah, this is when it gets interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a really bad situation to take Steadfast in.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Alex doesn't even want to.
And that's a dead Guardian Defender, or Storm Guardian Gunner.
Yeah.
And the Scorpion is now only contesting that bottom left objective. They're swinging on the leader now.
Alex didn't even want to roll the feel no pains for that Scorpion.
Alex makes the 4-up save with his Dire Avenger, so that leader's going to live. And he is going one on each with the Zealot.
Yeah.
Two damage for the... that's a dead Guardian Defender right there.
All right, if he kills one more, then Alex loses Steadfast.
Actually, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is... yeah, that's going to be Steadfast for Alex. But he did fail on the construct.
Failed on the last one.
So no hits there from the two Eldar models in the top left. Kind of a misplay from Matt to not pile in onto that objective with Flayed One. I think he just forgot.
Yeah. I almost wanted to say the same for the same sort of thing on the bottom left objective, but then the Scorpion would have been able to fight, and it's not like he has a fight again tactic or anything. So the Scorpion. Okay, Scorpion did not shake. Thought he did.
Oh, I think he... Oh, yeah, he did not shake. So that is a shaken striking scorpion. Alex keeps flipping over his shaken model. So another relic picked up for Matt. Another cut apart. And he gets max on the primary that round. Well, Alex.
Yeah, the dead flayed one that he killed, he should be able to score right now. I think Alex is thinking about conceding here, actually.
Alex is, he's considering right now. It's 5-12 in favor of Matt after that second round.
I mean, this would that D side needing to do some major work, and it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So. But other than that, there's not.
I mean, the combat striking scorpion is still in play, but the fact that he's not going to score 3 points just straight off is definitely something you consider here.
I mean, I don't know. I would say that it's definitely heavily in Matt's favor, but
yeah,
because he could score the bonus on the bottom, right? If he somehow
Yeah.
takes out that Lich Guard. If you were to take out that Lich Guard, that gets him the point in the bottom. What was his third objective again?
He took Steadfast Relic Hunters and Death from
Relic
Afar,
Hunters.
I believe.
Oh, Relic. Yeah.
He did not pick up Relic Hunters yet, even if he did.
So I think they are.
It would be 6-12. Yeah, it sounds like.
Yeah,
I don't want to say anything final yet.
Yeah, it's official. So. Wow.
All right. Yeah. So Alex has conceded here to Matt Howell.
Oh.
Also, congratulations to Matt Howell for being champion of the Command Point Invitational.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, what?
Should have made an animation for that.
Yeah, we probably should have.
All right, yeah. So we'll see if we can get in to the Discord with Matt Howell to get a few words from him.
To Utsicle, it's not best of 3, it's still double elimination. So Matt, being undefeated, would have needed to lose twice, and Alex already lost once, so this is his second loss. I think it's pretty typical for all double elimination tournaments I've seen.
Yeah. All right, so Sean, are you in the Discord?
I'm not in the Discord.
Okay.
I'll head over there so that
so that they can hear us. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're going to get Matt Howell on in just a second here.
Oh, there you go.
And we can also talk to Alex as well.
Yep.
I'm just waiting for
Sean to get in here.
I'm in.
Get the audio from here. Oh, you are? All right, cool.
I'll work on turning it up a bit. Am I missing audio? Or are we still just waiting for everybody?
No, for me it looks like it looks like Shane, Alex, and Matt are muted for us in the Discord right now. And I have no idea why.
It looks like they're just talking through stuff between the two of them. I wonder if they realize that.
No, wait. What
There
are you
we
guys
go.
saying?
Cool.
We're here. I was just muted. I think Alex is muted too.
Yeah.
But we're
Okay,
both
great.
here.
Congrats.
So,
Thanks.
yeah, Matt, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
How did this game go for you? Like, how did you expect this game to go? Did it play out like you expected, or?
More or less, yeah. I did a bonehead move when I charged his guy with my leader. I forgot that was my leader out there, and let him get murked. So that made me a little bit sad. But this guy, the Lich Guard Zealot, charging the 3 guys and just murdering them, most of them, 2/3 of them, was basically how I thought that was going to turn out. Yeah, I figured either he was going to start the Wraith Guard on the table towards the center and push him forward, or he was going to deep strike him. And there was nothing I could do about the deep strike, so I kind of just ignored it. I knew it was coming, mitigated it as I can, but just know that it's going to be there. But yeah, then I got really lucky when my Blade One killed his Banshee. That should not have happened at all.
Yeah, we were talking about that when it happened. It essentially, that model killing the Banshee netted you points turn 1.
Yeah, because it got me the kill and it got me that center objective and hold more. So yeah, that was a big kill right there.
Yeah. So,
And then this guy being able to run around and still get a kill here was good. And then of course his Scorpion shaking was just kind of salt in the wound. Because he was just going to move in and kill him next.
Yeah, so I'm going to hold off on any further questions for the moment, just because it looks like they're saying in the Twitch chat that there's something going on with our audio.
With my audio or your audio?
I think the audio's fine. Thing on stream.
Audio's fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
That must just be the chat. Okay, so and Alex, you can chime in on this too a little bit. So when you saw that Alex had put essentially a conga line of Dire Avengers on the top left objective, did you suspect that he had taken Steadfast as a secondary objective, and you just kind of like went after it, or it just kind of your plan to take all his objectives from the get-go?
My plan was to take all the objectives at some point. I mean, I know Alex loves Steadfast. So basically, I was just going to watch the game, make sure I took each objective at once, and if I see, at the end of the game, he still isn't racking up secondaries, I know that's Steadfast.
Yeah. Okay. Shane, do you have any questions?
I mean, I guess I just on like a general, like kind of a wider scale. Would you say that like throughout the tournament, like in what ways would you say like your, I guess, opinions and views of playing Necrons kind of changed as you got deeper in, or has it kind of stayed the same the whole way through?
It's kind of stayed the same. This is my first time playing Necrons. I think I played like 1 or 2 practice games before the actual tournament. I like them. I like, one of you guys were saying on the podcast, I've been playing Gene Seal Cult. And they're just really squishy, where these guys just aren't. They're just tough. And if you keep them in cover, it's really hard to take them out. So they're pretty rock solid.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the case. how do you feel about the? I mean, this is kind of like a weird matchup in general. We've seen it quite a bit at this point, whether it's in this tournament or at the actual LVO event. Like, how do you feel about the Asuryani Necron matchup? Do you think it swings one way, or?
I mean, I think it swings towards the Necrons. I think all their high damage stuff works against them, which is kind of, it's one of the ways Necrons breaks the meta. You know, we're trained to play more damage, but the Necrons like high damage stuff. So I think it's probably one of the tougher matchups for Asuryani for sure. I mean, we even saw that at LVO, right? I mean, Glass beat Mike that first round, and then he beat Alex. So I mean, those are two top Eldar players. I just think it's a strong matchup.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. Sean, did you have anything you wanted to chime in before we talk to Alex?
So, just in time for Necron to get a new box, right?
I know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, now we can look forward to everybody playing Necrons.
I'm a little concerned. I don't see any played ones. I figured
Yeah.
they'd have new played ones. There's one model that has like two sides and like a big back. So maybe they're changing the lore of the flayed ones, and that's the new flayed one. I don't know. But it'll be interesting if we get new models, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I was all set to buy that box, and then I realized that the Necron side doesn't look like it's Kill Team stuff. Well, I guess it will become Kill Team stuff. And
You
then,
hope, but there's still look pretty big. Look pretty big for Kill Team.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
So you don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess final thoughts. Congratulations again, Matt.
Thanks.
You went without a defeat the whole way through, which is extremely impressive. Necrons are truly, truly strong, if there was any doubts.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's take it over to the runner-up, Alex. First of all, Alex, obviously, I mean, tough game, but congrats on making it all the way to second place.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second LVO style tournament you've played in where you've had a really good finish. So, I mean, there's definitely no doubt about. I mean, if we're seeing two good players here, I don't think anybody's doubting that. How do you feel the game went for you outside of like the obvious? Like, what do you think specifically went wrong?
No, I just think that the first round didn't go, like the Banshee dying in the center just kind of, because I have only 8 models, which is not something I'm used to, because I usually run like 11 or 12. So then having that like big part of my team, and she's like a big part of it too. She's not just like a regular guardian defender. I wasn't expecting her to die in the center, which gave up my kill one, and then the kill more, and then the objectives too. So like that just and then I only killed one guy in shooting in the first turn. So like it just didn't really like that first turn wasn't the way that I wanted that one to go out. It just didn't play out, but sometimes it just happens like that, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, Necrons are kind of their own animal when looking at matchups. I mean, you kind of have to approach them differently than you do any other matchup in the game, and that's a big thing, especially for Asuryani, who's one of their strengths is being able to dish out so much high damage weapons. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure you know already at this point. You've played against them quite a few times.
Quite a few on this LVO setup. Maybe my 5th, right?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I think so, yeah. So, the secondaries that you took, we were of the opinion that Steadfast probably wasn't the best secondary you could take, in this sort of matchup on this deployment. Do you just really like that secondary objective?
I actually think that Steadfast is a fine objective. In all the other games I've played, Steadfast on this map has worked fine, especially because this tunnel is only like what 2 something across, and then with the melee guys on both sides, like the zealot here and the combat, she ended up getting the center, but then just like with all the shooting that I can get down the lane, and like the models that I have, I don't think that like right here, like having this dude, the combat specialist, and a flamer over here, most times it would be fine to hold this. It just didn't. I just couldn't roll it out, which
Yeah.
was obviously a problem. But I don't think it's that. It's obviously not the best map. Obviously not the best map for it. But if I'm looking for, because I knew that this game was gonna be like one where I needed to get points, and just looking around at the other objectives, cut apart isn't really that great for me because my melee guys are D3. I had Death from Afar, and I got it twice.
Yeah.
I had Relic Hunters too. So like that Relic Hunters I think is one of the best also. But then just looking
Yeah.
at the other ones, like Vicious Assault probably isn't one that I'll need. Disengage maybe, but then I need to survive these rounds in combat or like fall back and then not shoot too, which is also a problem. And then just, like Hip Shot is also one, but that one doesn't really work that well with Death from Afar. High profile targets, I knew the Lich Guard would be problems to kill. Engage on all fronts. I chose this map because this map has a similar board setup to map 2. Like the two maps are the exact same.
Right.
But this one had the points for defending this back objective, so I chose this one because I knew he was gonna have to come into me. So I didn't choose engage on all fronts because I wanted to be able to get my kills on this back objective. And then pivotal point is just not one that is very good at all. So like just looking around at the other objectives, I felt like Steadfast was one that had the best chance of getting me 3 points more so than the other objectives for the team that I'm playing against the Necrons.
Yeah. I feel that same. I felt that same sort of way, looking at secondary objectives for this LVO packet. But yeah. Sean and Shane, any of you guys got any more questions for Alex?
Did you specifically think a heavy weapons platform wasn't a good choice here, or is it just a matter of points?
Yeah, it's just a matter of, because I knew he was gonna outnumber me models wise. So by giving up that comm specialist to like two, like, because the heavy weapons platform needs this comms guy to shoot. So now I've only got like a certain amount of people shooting per turn, and then he's like D3, but the other one like isn't really that great, and he's a heavy, so I gotta like move them together. I just felt like the maneuverability of not having the heavy weapons platform was probably something that was just better for me to just get more shots all around at different places. And I felt like for what I have right here, there isn't much else that I would cut for 11 points or 10 points or whichever one I decided to take. It was 124, so would
Yeah,
have needed
makes
to
sense.
probably
Once you decide you want
cut.
that D side, that kind of ties your hands in
Yeah,
a
the
lot of
D
ways.
side's super
Yeah.
expensive, and then I only just recently started using him too, so I not really. This team probably isn't amazingly cut out for having a D scythe on it, so I still have to look around at that. Actually, hopefully I don't, because then I don't have to ever play Necrons ever again.
No, they're getting a box. They're easy to paint. I have a feeling we're going to see him for a while.
Good saves, a leadership 10.
Yeah, I think we're going to see him for a while.
4 toughness and strength. Can't kill him on a 6.
Yeah, they're tough, man.
These flayed ones are they're great models. I like them a lot.
Yeah. Would it kill GW to re-release them at this point in time? Seriously. Anyway, Beernid40K in the chat says, congrats to both of you on an amazing tourney and very well played. If Shane and Sean don't have anything else for you, I think we can call it here.
Yeah, I think we can end our 2 months tournament and let everybody start to think about other things.
Thanks for running it, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, our pleasure.
Cool. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah,
All
sounds
right,
good. Congrats.
See ya.
Thanks.
All right, yeah, so I guess we'll wrap it up here. Thank you everybody for tuning in onto the stream, I guess I should say. And thank you everybody who chose to participate in the tournament. It was awesome to run it for all you guys, and yeah, just an overall great experience, and we look forward to tournaments like this in the future.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, I guess just stay tuned because there's probably more to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to keep getting creative for a little while. I have a feeling. So, yeah, much more to come.
All right. Good night, everybody.